Hey everyone, I'm Taylor Daltrey and this is Learn the Web Part 1, The Basics. And so today, just like the title says, we're just going to create the basic foundation of a website today, as well as kind of set up our working environment. What you'll need today is Coda or some other form of text editor. Coda is actually Mac specific, but if you're not on a Mac and hate pretty much anything that has to do with Macs, or you just don't like Coda, you can use Notepad or text edit, sorry. You can also use any form of a text editor on the PC or Mac. There's TextMate, there's Text Wrangler, let's see. There are a few others, but I can't remember the other ones, but any text editor will work, especially anyone with what's called syntax highlighting. That's why I'm using Coda. And if you're on the Mac, you can get Coda as a trial at panic.coda.com. What you'll also need today is any sort of web browser, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, Flock, Opera, anything like that. You can use Internet Explorer, but in some of our later tutorials you're going to run into some problems, but we'll cover that later. You'll also need about 10 or 15 minutes depending on how fast you work. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to assume you're on a Mac, but if you're on a PC, this is going to be pretty similar. What you're going to do is create a new folder. And you can just name this whatever. I'm just going to name this The Basics. And so this is going to be where our website lives for now. I'm going to clean this up because I am a neat freak. There we go. So this is going to be where our website lives. And I'll open that up and it actually comes up on this window. Let's get it back over here. So now there's nothing in it. We can actually use Coda to put things in it, but if you're not using Coda, this is where you'd create files. Like if you're using Notepad on the PC, you can I just popped my knuckles, sorry. If you're using Notepad on the PC, you can save as to this folder real quick, and then we'll get started. But I'm going to close that. I'm actually going to go ahead and open Coda. So now, once you've created that file, or that folder, sorry, you can actually browse to here, and this is Coda specific. You can actually have Coda create your file for you. So once you've done that, I just did that by right-clicking New File and naming the file. .html is very specific. Please include that. That's vital. So now, once we're here, we're going to create our first HTML file. An HTML file, there are two types of languages on the internet, as far as we're concerned for this tutorial. There's HTML and there's CSS. And HTML is the markup, which is just what you see whenever you view source, if you've ever done that before. And HTML is the content. We're going to try and separate these two because that's a great thought to get in your head early on. HTML is content, markup is content. And the CSS, or cascading style sheets, which we'll cover in the next video, is where you style it. It's just where you make it look pretty. Those two are separated like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So the basics of HTML is using tags, like this. And this is called opening a tag. Whenever I open it like that, then I absolutely need to close it like this. And this works with anything. Let's just say we want to bold some text. So this text is bolded. And then we close it just by adding this right here. And you do this with almost every tag in HTML. It's very vital that you close any tag you open. If not, it won't validate, but we'll cover that later. But also, let's say I only wanted this sentence bolded, but I kept typing. The next sentence, if I can type correctly, will be bolded too, because I didn't close my tag right here. So now, because I've closed my tag, then this sentence won't be bolded. So let's move on. Now that we've done that, and you kind of get the basic idea of tags, and don't worry if you don't get it or if I'm going kind of fast, you can rewind the video or just pay attention a little more in the next few videos and we'll explain it a little bit deeper. But so far, I just need you to know, do not open a tag without closing it. That's very vital to how your website works. So now we're going to start by doing what's called declaring a doc type. And for the purpose of this tutorial, you can just type this in. This is actually HTML5, and you can Google that if you want to get ahead. But we're going to have homework later, and this will have to do with it. But you can actually declare doc types in HTML, and all doc types is just kind of explaining to the browser that you're using. For example, I'm using Chrome. What the doc type does is tells Google Chrome, okay, I'm using this type of language which uses these tags and so on and so on. And it just kind of helps your browser make sense of your website. So you can just copy paste that if you want. Anything but Internet Explorer will be okay with that. And so today we're going to be using tags. I've explained tags and how they're the basic component of a site. But the basic rule behind them is, once again, you must close any tag you open. I can't stress that enough. One of the great things about using Coda is this. I can open a tag and it automatically closes it for me. So it just kind of prevents me. It's kind of another thing that I can use to help me close tags and help me keep from making errors in my markup. So what we're going to do here is open up HTML, and this is the HTML tag. This is what the basic site tag is. This is what's around everything in your site in the window. And I don't need to explain these right now because we just need to get the basic stuff down today. I'll explain these in a later video. So we're going to open up our head tag, which is kind of like the starting point of your website. And you'll notice I spaced out a little bit. This is purely preference and to make it easier on you guys so you can read it better. And so we're going to start by creating a title. And the title is what's going to show up in the tab for Google Chrome users or Firefox or Safari users, and the top of the window or the bar, whatever Internet Explorer uses nowadays. I'm not very familiar with it because I haven't used it in a while. I just create for it. But regardless, you're just going to title it whatever you want. I'm naming mine The Basics of a Website with Taylor Daltrey. And you can name it whatever you'd like. It's purely what you want. And then right here is where you would link to a style sheet, but that's going to be tomorrow. So your homework will have to do with that as well. So now let's go ahead and get started on the main portion of our website. And this is in the body tag. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to make the basic format, I guess you could say, of what we want. We're going to go for a personal website. And so we're going to create a bio today, and this is actually what your homework is going to be, is creating your own bio for us to use in tomorrow's video. And so because it's a bio, our website needs to be titled, hopefully with our name. You can put my name if you want to. I don't know why you would though, but hey, whatever. To each his own. But I'm just going to title it Taylor Daltrey, a Biography. And this H1 tag is what's called a header tag. There's 6 of them, H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. H1 being the biggest and H6 being the smallest. And all you need to know about these is they just emphasize important areas. If you have a title of an article that you wrote, that might be in a header tag. The main title of your site will probably be in a header tag. Important things like that. So now that we've done that, let's keep going. I've space. You don't have to put a space here, but I do it once again just for you guys so it's easier to see on the video. And I've opened a paragraph tag, that's what these are, and it's closed it for me automatically with Coda. And this is, like I said, paragraph tags, and what these do is kind of create blocks of text for you to work with. It just makes them look pretty, and it just makes it easier to make them look pretty, which we'll do tomorrow. So what we're going to do now, I'm just going to use lorem ipsum, which if you're just getting into the website design industry, lorem ipsum is kind of like placeholder text. If you don't quite have, let's say, a biography like we're doing, I don't have my biography written yet, so I'm just going to paste in some lorem ipsum. And you can actually get this from lipsum.com, lipsum.com. But Coda has a shortcut where I can just type in lorem, press tab, and it gives me a paragraph of it. So I've just done that, but you don't need to do that. You don't need any of that. But this is where you would write your bio, and you're going to need to do this for tomorrow's video. And so now that we've done that, we've got a little header tag, and we've got a paragraph for us to look at. Let's go ahead and save that. And if you're using something besides Coda, it would come up with a window, save as, and you would save this to your basics folder that you created on your desktop. So now let's open Google Chrome, and I've already got the file that we've created right here referenced. And all you'd have to do for Windows or Mac actually is to right click and go to Open With and just choose your web browser. I'm using Google Chrome, so I would just use Google Chrome. But anyway, I've browsed to it and we're going to go to it. And so now, hopefully this shows up in the video. here's our website. And as you can see, it's pretty basic. It's not super snazzy, but it works. It's a great start. And so as we can see, just like I was explaining, this is a header tag, that H1, and this is actually the biggest one, so it's quite large. Then it's got a little space in between the paragraph here and then the paragraph. And this is the body text. This is what most of the paragraphs, most of the text, is going to be on your page. So now that we've covered that, that's going to be the end of this video. And your homework before the next video is to, let me type it in here to emphasize it, create your bio and put it here. And also replace your name here. Unless you just want to use my name, that's cool, but kind of creepy. Okay. So what we've learned today is that HTML is markup, which is just the content. CSS is styling, which is just making things look pretty. That's all CSS is, and that's all you really need to know about it right now. There are a few other differences, but the basic markup of HTML, the basic markup, which is HTML, of a website is built using tags. And tags are just like we reviewed, H1 and /H1. These are both tags. This is the beginning tag. This is the ending tag. This is the closing tag. This is the opening tag. And these are the very basic components of a website. And one thing that I want to emphasize, let me correct this because I'm OCD, is that if you open a tag, you have to close that tag or else your website won't work right, and we'll cover that more later. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll pick up tomorrow in our next video and cover how to style our first website and your bio using cascading style sheets, or CSS. So like I said, if you didn't hear, your homework between now and tomorrow is to create a bio of yourself using multiple paragraphs and titling your web page with whatever you'd like. And we'll work with this tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys, and these are free videos, but if you'd like to donate, you can do so through the PayPal button right below the video or by emailing me at daltrey.taylor@gmail.com. These videos do take a good bit of time to produce, and this computer that I'm working with only has 2 gigs of RAM. And if you work with computers a lot, you know 2 gigs isn't that much when you start recording video and audio. And so if you don't want to, hey, that's cool, but if you're at a point where you do appreciate these videos and you actually learn something from them, then I'd really appreciate it. But regardless, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned something. See ya.